Okay.
And continue. And I'm loading the game, Birdcatcher. Are you ready to stream? Birdcatcher.
You sound like
And then he says, yes. And then he says, haha, just kidding, April Fools.
the, the real joke is that we're going to be starting on time. Oh wait, it's 7:10. Hello, I am professional YouTuber Donald Birdcatcher.
That's me, Donald Glover.
Yeah.
The famous Donald Glover from Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And only
and
Spider-Man
2.
Was he in the sequel?
I don't believe so.
I think he was in
Spider-Man 2, Community.
I feel like in the first, in Homecoming, I think he was in exactly one scene in a parking garage, which is probably just where they caught up with him. Please be in our movie for like 5 minutes, and then so they caught him in a parking garage. We'll just do it here.
No.
So he was just,
Spider-Man
in a
3.
parking garage.
The beginning.
Beginning. Just fuck with your sense of space and time and
Yeah, Spider-Man 3.
chronology.
In the beginning.
In the beginning, there was Spider-Man, and then there was Spider-Man. Are you ready to begin?
Yeah.
Have you begun?
I'm streaming.
Yeah. So the only two...
It's a little awkward because I was going to complain about Amazon, but now I can't. So I'll do it after we're not streaming. Boy, it would have been juicy.
You sure said that out loud, though.
Yeah, really.
So 2 changes happened. I hopped on for a little bit last night, so it's pretty minor. But if you go between our 2 big buildings, I did some cable management. So I just tried to clean it up by using more stack things. Also,
I can't really tell because the game's still loading all of this in. For whatever reason, it's still making all the chunks.
It's just a struggle.
It's gonna take I want to say at least another 45 seconds to minute for me to see what you're talking about. Usually it just pops right in. Today it's really slow. I don't know why.
And then on the really long sky bridge, I added some hypertube, but then I ran out of copper sheets.
Wait, we're out of copper sheets? Those are... Uh-oh. That's not good.
Well, we have one factory that pumps the copper sheets directly into the circuits maker.
Oh, okay.
I ran out of copper sheets in storage, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Now I gotta wait for this thing to make them slowly, and then I just went to bed.
Okay, I was concerned that we were legitimately out of copper sheets and, like, not being able to scale it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we do need to scale up copper sheets because I think that is the bottleneck for circuit making right now.
No, yeah, no, great. I love how it's always something new. Every single game is here's the new.
Especially since we don't like math out our every single thing we make to know what the rates need to be. So it pretty much always is happening.
I mean, we try to, but then it turns out that we get the next thing, and it's like, oh yeah, you're gonna need 7 times more of the thing that you were making from beforehand. Good luck.
Yeah.
Or it's like, oh, you need to double your circuit production, and to do that entails doubling 7 other things that feed into it in the end.
Yeah. I'm glad we have understanding.
Okay, I'm at the tiers. Oh right, we can't make fabric. Do we want to make the jetpack? I guess we can make the jetpack. Why not?
Do you want to make a jetpack?
Right,
why would you ever say no? Have you? I guess the child inside of you is dead. Which might be what that song's about.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never seen. I
know because it's a movie.
Well, okay.
And you don't watch movies because they're scary and feature length.
Well, scary movie's scary. I'm gonna take these plastics.
Scary movie is not scary.
Yes, it is.
It's very specifically unscary.
No, because sometimes in scary movie you'll see like boobs, and then that's scary.
You're like, eek.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no, I better tell my parents.
No.
They're gonna be real mad at me for all these boobs.
Oh boy. This building is too small. Damn it.
Well, make it bigger.
Yeah. It just doesn't have enough space.
Well, make a third gigantic Sam's Club Walmart super center of production.
I might need to, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like, I have a few more lines that I could feed into making more steel, but like there's just nowhere to put another steel making building. Just need more building.
Okay. Well, what you could do is uninstall
shut the fuck
game.
up and stop complaining, you dumbass motherfucker.
Wow, that was way more aggressive and mean to yourself than I would ever be to you. You know how they sometimes say, like, if you're being very like self-critical, be like, why would you would you ever say the things to yourself that you would say to other people, except the inverse of all the grammar of the sentence I just said? Would you?
Are you okay?
Would you ever have? Yeah, we're good. The answer is supposed to be no. But now I'm not going to tell you what the question was.
I see you read the back of the book.
I would have paid attention to the book if somebody didn't scroll boobs in the margin, and that was all.
And then they scared you.
And then they scared me, so I dropped the book on the floor.
Scary boobs. No one told
That's
me
why
there'd
they're
be
called
boobs in this book.
That's why they're called boobs. I can't believe it took us this long in the conversation to arrive at its logical conclusion.
To associate with the boobs and boo.
Hi everybody, it's been 1 week since we played this game. Shut up. Drive your head into the car, and I'm sorry.
I like that band, but it sounds like it's popular to like rip on them or something.
I don't know what that band is.
It's Bare Naked Ladies. They do the 90s fast talking lyrics, which I guess people make fun of or something. But I'm like,
oh, they like the choking the chicken
like
and the China's of the flavors. I have a drumstick when I wanna feel bad.
Yeah,
everything is gonna be.
Wait, what?
That's how it goes. It's like I have a tendency of losing my shit. It's been 1 week since the Chinese food, and and it always makes me sick. And I'm sorry.
I'm sorry that I don't react well to Chinese food. The ultimate crime.
I like girls that wear Abercrombie and Fitch. Chinese food makes me sick. It's been 1 week since I sang the song. Everybody's going Darmok and Gelada to Nagra. 5 days.
Still don't know what those words are. We're just gonna guess again every single time.
Oh man. Okay, so I need to see if we have any more of those roundy Boeing engine jetpack component number 2 boys over there. You know, the ones that are like they look like a little can of thrust.
A thrust can?
Yes, the second thing.
What the fuck is a can of thrust?
In the upper right corner, we have a current milestone.
There's no more ladder after a certain point.
The jetpack milestone.
No, I was just letting you know there's no more ladder after a bit, because I was moving the ladder.
Oh, you're right.
Actually, while I was building it, I saw you go up it.
And you were like, oh no, let's tear this ladder up before he comes up here.
Well, I was trying to add 2 more foundries to the bottom floor, so I had to take the walls out, which is where the ladder was.
I see.
Trying to make it work. Because I noticed that I had, like, essentially, like 2 more bonus lines of incoming coal that I could feed in.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. But yeah, anywhere we can ramp up production is good.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to find out where the... Jeez. There's so much. Like, there's just so much. And
yes.
And the much is everywhere. And I'm like, God damn, could there be like 10% less much, please?
Yeah.
And then the game is like, how about oil? And I'm like, no, that was the opposite. Now we got liquid much. It's all new and half the calories.
I thought I had a decent plan going into it this time, but honestly, I think the real answer to how to make a Satisfactory base is to make like it's like the Screws building, but everywhere. Like,
God!
I think you just make a whole new building every time you need more of a new product, and then you give like a nice open space between each building. And then
you just make it
and then you just feed
spread.
So like you can expand the building whenever you need to, and then you just have like a train of tracks between each different building for the different resource types, and then it's more controllable.
Okay, if I come over here and it's pink and it's stripper pole, what's gonna be on here? Is it stripper pole that was pink, or was that red?
The stripper pole was pink.
Okay, what's on stripper pole? The frames, right, because they're
the modular frames. It's 4 poles vertically.
Right, so there's nothing sexier than seeing somebody take their top off while dancing on a metal cube with what appears to be extremely sharp edges. This thing honestly looks like it's made exclusively of sharp edges.
That's my talent, is being made of sharp edges. It's what I do.
You might say that I'm edgy.
Wow.
I'm not feeling very good today. Around 1 o'clock, I was
gonna say, greetings, comedy partner. I see you
around 1
woke
o'clock
up today.
Around 1 o'clock today, I was like, I've decided I'm not gonna feel fine now, and my body was like, okay, we can make that happen. And it has been getting progressively worse.
I'm glad it was a conscious choice.
Well, I'm gonna choose to own it, because then you can't say it wasn't my idea. But anyway, my body, I was trying to be sick ironically, but my body didn't get the joke. So I don't know. But the other thing is that around this time of the year, right, I can never tell if I'm actually sick or if I just have allergies.
Yeah.
I'm like, which one is it? Do I need to get a COVID test, or do I need to take a nap? What the fuck do I do?
Yeah, like we're constantly primed to be sick. Like it's probably happening right now. This is it. But then, yeah, like you constantly, it's like, oh, I slept weird. I slept weird, and it's like too dry in here, or too hot in here, or I had a weird neck angle or something. So I'm just gonna have a fucked up throat for the first 3 hours of the day, and I'm gonna think the whole time that I'm dying, or coming down with something that'll make me unable to record for the day.
Legitimately, I couldn't tell you right now if I just need to turn on a humidifier or if I need to like see a GP. I don't know, and I have no way of knowing. I'm just gonna have to wait until time makes an ass out of me.
Famous thing time do.
Circuit boards? No, these are AI limiters. These are circuit boards.
Let's see.
Okay, I'm gonna make a jetpack by hand because it sounds really, really fun to have, and I don't feel like waiting.
Yeah, we're down to just
having a jetpack.
Don't we have a building somewhere making those computers?
I don't believe we're manufacturing computers anywhere yet, are we? Yeah, we haven't actually. We've made up 2 computers, but we haven't actually computed yet. Now we need to slump all this stuff together to make one big thinky rock and fill it with lightning.
Is computer the next thing after like the boards and stuff that I was making over there?
Let me check. We definitely have everything, and they're all kind of close to each other, but they're not. I don't think that the boards actually. So the boards, yes. The AI limiters, no, and I'm not sure why we have AI limiters.
Because you can make them.
Oh, okay.
Whenever there's a thing you can make, I just start making it.
Fair.
And then we find out eventually why we were making it, because it
Yeah.
does something. It's in the game.
The music started.
This is making motors, which is like all backed up, so we're good there. Alright, so encased industrial beams are backed up, or not getting through enough. They're our current throttle. So where am I making those?
Yeah, our steel production is very poorly balanced. I don't think that we've never had the right stuff. Like, we've never had coal going into that area sufficiently. We never really had iron. It's just been kind of like enough to get us through the short-term times.
Okay, so I need to get more concrete coming in here.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Because encased industrial beams are the current thing that's... But I tried to just go to the top of the tower and see what's getting to whatever our most hard to make resource is. Whatever is not arriving there. And right now it seems to be concrete. Or it's encased industrial beams, and then I go to the encased industrial beam floor, and it's concrete that's the throttle. So let's try to find some concrete. Are you gonna work on computers or something?
I'm gonna manufacture. So that's gonna probably be my end goal for tonight. I want to make jetpacks first because I want to have a jetpack. But also, it looks like we're not producing any plastics because guess what? We're not doing anything with the heavy oil residue because we have nothing to do with it, and it's just gonna keep filling up our P tanks until we figure something out.
There's nothing to do with it? You can't, like, reprocess it into something else?
I think that I can, and it reprocesses into petroleum coke. But all of our things that are currently holding our petroleum coke, they can't hold anymore. So we need to, I guess, put this into a sink. But I don't know. What do we do with petroleum coke? These are the less efficient coal replacement for aluminum refinement. See, okay, so I don't want to kill this yet, like the petroleum coke, because it could potentially be useful in the future. So the plan will be,
I think,
to make more storages.
I think one vein of limestone is powering our entire base.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna scan for limestone.
Okay. Oops, that was falling to my death.
At first I was like, oh, that's fast, and it was pointing at the one I'm standing on already. Yeah. That direction seems bad, so let's try this direction. Even though it's 50% further away.
I came back here for thing. What am I coming back here for? Don't forget, bird. What are you doing? It's steel.
I'm really good at forgetting your production.
It's the thing that looks like a little Pepsi can.
I need 2 miners.
Steel.
Okay.
Oh
yeah, have you tried the new warp? No, fuck. What's it called? The new hyper tube that goes towards oil.
No, where is it?
It's on the sky bridge.
It was the thing that didn't load in yet.
Oh.
Okay. Where is it?
I'm going over it. It's just on the sky bridge. I need to make 2 portable miners anyway, so I'll go show the audience that while I'm over there.
The audience? Hi, the audience. How you doing today?
Why are you still here?
Mm-hmm.
You've had so many chances to go.
Audience, do you need help finding the X button? It's in the upper right-hand corner. You just click on that, and then you're free. Then we can't hurt you anymore with our word comedy.
But yeah, the current tube is how far I could make it before I ran out of copper sheets.
Okay, so I'm on top of Old Smoky, which I don't think is actually the Skybridge superhighway of...
What is Old Smoky?
One of the buildings.
Which one did you...
Hypertube.
Which one did you name Old Smoky?
The first one, the oldest one.
Do you not remember where the Skybridge is?
Do you mean the Skybridge is in the thing that takes us to the oil?
Yeah, the infinite, the endless bridge, the one that desperately needs hypertubes.
Okay.
It has hypertubes
the
now.
place. the place that makes the most sense for hypertubage. Okay, well, I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna turn myself into a YouTuber,
And when you
because I'm gonna be me, which is equal to you from the perspective of me, and I'm gonna be in a tube. So.
And when you're in it, you'll see that we have a new structured type, which I bought it from the Fix-It store or whatever it's called. I think it's the Fix-It store.
The Coupon Club.
The Coupon Club, because they have wall mounts for things. So I put it on the side of the platform, so it won't obstruct the platform.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you made this all sexy, and like, you can use
those wall mounts for those tubes and the gas, like the oil tubes, and for conveyors.
Cool. What happens if you want to get out in the middle?
You can't. It's a tube.
See,
if you were planning on going anywhere besides the end of the tube, you gotta just walk instead. But currently there aren't really a lot of choices. I was gonna have if I got far enough, I was planning on making the tube end before my coal plant, so that you could then go into another tube to go to the oil, or a different tube to go to the coal plant.
Right. That's what I would recommend.
Yeah, but until then, there's not really places that need choices yet.
Okay. Well,
I couldn't
thank you for making this.
I couldn't make
it's
it that
very
far.
Nice. It's very lovely, and I like how ribbed it is.
It will reduce our gravity deaths.
Yeah, it's much faster than literally any other alternative that we have.
Yeah. It might be worth looking into whether or not you're able to do like the physics glitch or whatever.
Yeah,
to like make it
go,
faster.
like shooty.
I don't know if that'll
then you probably will get hurt.
I don't know if that'll work like the whole way through, or if it'll stop when you like hit each of those little like choke points or whatever. Because it definitely kind of feels like those are resetting your speed. But I am not particularly sure.
Are you and Keith able to collide with each other in the teleporter tube?
We're
not going to make a particle collider to discover if we have the Higgs boson inside of us or something. We did that in 2012, and you know what happened next? Harambe died. We don't need to fucking recreate that tragedy.
Wow, Harambe memes.
Yeah.
What year was that from?
I think it was 2014? 2012?
I was trying. It's not 2012, because 2012 I remember as being Gangnam Style and Friday, and Harambe seems way more recent. It's
okay,
like a really
so I think it was 2014.
It was always like a really mean-spirited meme. I always kind of like didn't like it.
I don't really. Yeah, I mean, I think that might have legitimately been the first time I've ever made a Harambe joke. So
yeah,
there you go.
Ha ha! Your monkey died. We're gonna make jokes about this for some reason.
Yeah, like that part, I do distinctly remember the owners of the zoo being like, hey, this is super fucked up, and we're actually really sad about this. Please stop joking about our gorilla.
It was like actively
and the internet was like, can't hear you.
LOL. Because it's like, the internet and memes and so on often act like an annoying little brother. Where it's like, you said I shouldn't do this thing. I'm gonna do it harder now, and just because it annoys you. But it's like, oh wait, no, it's stop. It's really, it's just really fucked up. Stop it. It's like, haha, I'm a Nazi now. Ironically, or am I? You told me not to do it. I'm gonna do it harder. It's like, all right, you fucking child. But it's like millions of people.
So the cocaine currently is flowing, which means that the heavy oil residue should start flowing, which means the plastic should start flowing, which means I can get back to what I was doing beforehand, which was making computers by hand, and it is not working.
Oopsie.
It's good. Why aren't you doing anything? You should be doing stuff.
I should try to get closer.
Might be doing anything. Okay. Yeah, there's probably just so much heavy oil that's backed up that we're just not going to be able to process it quick enough into petroleum coke. So what we could do is we could flush all of the heavy oil residue, which I kind of don't want to do because that feels like cheating. And that's saying something considering I'm attempting to build 25 computers by hand. So I will search for, I think I'll just make another refinerino.
Just another thing that turns into stuff.
Yep.
Yep.
Because sometimes it's worth trying. Usually not. But sometimes it worth trying.
Is this the... Fuck. I don't know this building.
I don't know this building. It's a stranger, here? I swear.
God, where the fuck is anything made? I just don't know our second building very well. So I don't know I
don't know the first or the second one anymore. They kind of run together into a 0th building.
I kind of know what a bunch of the buttons or a bunch of the colors mean on the first building, but on the second building,
oh yeah, the only one I remember is the stripper pole one, because it's the scariest floor.
I have this amazing...
the floor that I know is danger, and I got to stay away.
I have this amazing talent where I will literally climb this building and basically check every floor and somehow miss whatever one I was looking for. I'm like, what? Didn't I look everywhere? Mm-hmm. Okay, so gray is encased beams. Gray, concrete. Associate these thoughts, please, brain. Or else.
Brain's like, okay. If there's one thing I'm really great at, it's making all my associations extremely logical and predictable, and not driven by emotion or hunger.
Oh no, hunger.
Haven't you ever made a bad decision because you're hungry?
Usually it's eating. Usually that's the bad decision. I'm hungry. Yeah. I'm gonna immediately order something. There are no regrets. No, I don't like burgers, so just eating burgers is regret usually.
Yeah.
Specifically,
and I don't eat meat, so...
basically it just has to be In-N-Out. If it's not In-N-Out, then it feels like too much of every part of the burger, basically. Especially the fucking, especially the patty. Like, I'm like, this is too much beef. I don't want it.
I don't eat meat, so I do eat Impossible Burgers, though. And those are fantastic. They're expensive, but they're fantastic. But yeah, overall, I don't really eat a whole lot of burgers either. As a result.
Yeah.
Not to mention all the places I could think of that used to sell Impossible Burgers are,
I would actually rather eat a burger made of chicken or fish than the usual beef. I think I'm just kind of... Yeah. I'm just done with all red meat.
Yeah.
I don't really like pork either.
Pork's not red meat, but yeah.
Yeah. But, it's often red in color. Checkmate.
I suppose that's true. Checkmate. You sure showed me.
I pretty much just eat chicken and fish.
Put that in a compilation and be like, Birdcatcher owned?
I'm out of free and forced iron plates. Alright. Yeah. Time to go on a fucking
Impossible Burgers
journey.
Impossible Burgers are magic burgers made with a ton of science and plants.
Yeah, it's when you take a burger and you divide by 0.
Yeah, exactly.
And, wait, that's an imaginary. Wait, no, never mind. That's the negative square root of a burger. Is an imaginary burger.
I like how you made a smart joke and then made it dumb on accident, and then and then pivoted it to be smart but just awkward. You really should have quit while you were ahead there.
Yeah. I corrected myself, and the correction was wrong, but I remembered that midway through saying it, but then I still explained why I was wrong about the thing that I didn't even actually say out loud all the way.
It was fantastic. I'm glad I was there to then spend more time giving you shit about it than you spent saying it. Anywho, what am I making right now? I need to get concrete. That's the words. We'll take you. You're mine. Come with me, concrete. Impossible Burgers are plants that go through a bunch of science, and it comes out of it being like fake meat that is by far the closest in terms of texture and taste to real meat. It doesn't. Impossible Burger doesn't taste like anything. You wouldn't say, "Oh, this tastes like chicken," or "This tastes like cow," or "It tastes like pig." You would just say, "This tastes like meat," and it's like indescribable as a result, because it doesn't taste like an animal at all.
I love neutral flavored meat.
Yeah. What am I doing wrong? Why did I do this wrong? What the hell am I looking for? Pipeline Mark II. Oh, Pipeline Mark II is plastic. I had the wrong things. I didn't want this to be plastic. No. Okay, we'll put that.
I liked how you sounded like you were vibrating.
Maybe I was.
Mm-hmm.
And then we gotta put that, and that's gonna be the inputs. And we make the input face the same direction as all the other inputs, and then we have a, you know what, you got a base that makes sense. The refinery is so big, it's really hard to place because I can't see anything else around it.
Oh, yeah. And it's also like, I think that might actually be one of the purposes of watchtowers.
Oh, maybe.
It's just to be so high up in the air that you can deal with that kind of crap.
Oh, maybe, yeah. I hadn't really thought of that. We'll put that there. And then, yeah, the coolest part about Impossible Burger and stuff like that is that I own a bunch of stock in Impossible Burger. So if you believe in it, just buy it up, and you'll give me money indirectly. And I'm a huge proponent of that. So
big fan of getting money.
Yeah.
So if you could just help me out there, that'd be nice.
Yeah. I'm starting a Patreon. It's I'm not gonna actually produce anything from the Patreon. It's just and if you feel like helping me out, fund. Not a GoFundMe, just
That is the funny thing about starting a Patreon, even if you're not doing anything at all for it. It's like, well, I can't make negative money. Either something happens or nothing happens, which isn't really much of a fucking like there's not much downsides for me. I'm often surprised. It can be an interesting experience just looking at like very, very small creator Patreons, sometimes increasingly unjustified. Like, guy who has not made a video for 6 months has a Patreon with 1 subscriber, and you're like, keeping it up. Every month that guy pays me $3. Yeah.
What a badass.
Living large, boyos.
Living that hashtag Patreon life. Where the struggle isn't real, nor is the result. I don't know. I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna make a connect here. Engaging commentary. I really feel like I'm giving you a lot to work with that one, aren't I?
You sound like Andrew's April Fool's video.
Yeah, his April Fool's video was pretty funny. Just like, oh yeah, this is a pretty sick level. Like, he played, he was just like playing on the Switch, but like in the handheld mode.
Yeah.
And, that was
camera pointing at him.
Camera pointing at him.
The long form version of your Zelda joke.
Yeah. He made it his own. He showed I was but a mere proof of concept compared to his execution of the whole thing.
Your video is a trip because there's a moment of I get a kick out of the fact that people keep leaving comments on the bouncer videos being like, oh my god, I just realized that the voice acting in the loading screen isn't real, and I'm like, what? How?
Yeah.
But
that just means we did really good.
But with your 4th of July, with your April Fool's video, there's genuinely a moment of like, wait, is that just Kiryu? Because like that's like the closest you've ever been to matching somebody's voice in a thing.
Oh, you're talking about the one that I made today.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were still talking about the Breath of the Wild one.
No.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the Bakami Tai video.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. So my voice is like my voice is in like a weird spot, like naturally, because it's like not high enough to imitate a lot of voices, and it's not low enough to imitate a lot of other voices. So it's kind of like in the middle, but then it's also like too resonant. So this was the first time I've ever been able. This is the first time I've ever been able to like actually imitate something and do a convincing job of it. I was like, wow, it's doable.
It came out like really well.
Yeah. When I was editing it, and I was like, wow, I actually really do sound like this dude in a couple of places.
Now you've
really
got no
fun.
choice. Now you've got to do a Kazuma Kiryu. You got to do a full Yakuza franchise playthrough.
Nah, the feedback I've gotten is that the video itself was more entertaining than most Yakuza Let's Plays. So there you go. I'm done. You can only go downhill from here. Unless I dress up. Yeah, there you go. I'll dress up as him. And I can cosplay the entire Yakuza while dressed up as Yakuza.
You sound like me with Slay the Spire. It's like, when are you going to play Slay the Spire again? It's like, oh, I mean, I won my first run, so can only fuck it up now. Like, my first ever, like, I won immediately. That's it. I don't need to play it ever again.
Yeah, Slay the Spire took me a lot of tries to beat. But I can definitely see how it would be possible to just beat it in your first try, because it's just, I don't know.
It's just all I
at the beginning. It's
literally all that can happen is I make my win rate not 100% forever.
Yeah. I feel like Slay the Spire in the beginning is actually pretty easy. It gets way harder, way almost immediately when you start actually doing like the various challenge modes or whatever. But do I have enough plastic in here to do anything? What about in here to do anything? No. Okay, yeah, we basically don't have any plastic to work with right now because it was all backed up for a while. So what are you doing?
Hooray!
Oh no! Ah, shit. You know what this means I need to do? I need to actually just make the computer builder thing. Because I can't... the game has forced me. It said, you don't have enough plastic to make this shit by hand. Get to actual work. Ow! It's the worst outcome. Alright, fine, whatever.
This is the worst thing you could ever do to me.
How do we make a maker, but like a big maker? It's that one.
A big maker?
Yeah.
You're gonna make...
No, you're not. Not while I'm around.
What the fuck is a big maker? What are you talking about?
A thing that makes but with 4.
What? Oh, a manufacturer. It's just next to the other ones.
An assembly boy, but like a 4.
Look, everyone, I'm going to use my first ever conveyor wall mount. Just like you all wanted.
You talking about a wall mount, but also saying, like, look, everybody, makes me think that you're, like, showing off your fucking pad in a TikTok. It's like, look at my wall-mounted conveyor belt.
Bullshit. Oh my god,
my
it's
remote-controlled...
Okay.
What?
It's just...
What's chat freaking out about now?
No, not chat. It's freaking out because it's
oh.
You know how your auto placer of conveyors can just freak the fuck out when it's like, oh, you mean you want to take this path, right? And it's like like fucking Ouroboroses, and it's like, no, just be normal, Jesus.
Okay, I need to get the heavy modular frames, which is not this tube, it's the other tube, because this needs to take me to not on top of Old Smoky. This needs to take me to the other friend.
New Smokey?
Yeah.
The important thing is that all of them are ruining our lungs and the environment.
There's Old Smokey, which is like, stay away from forest fires, kids. And then there's New Smokey, who's like, hey, radical stuff, kids. Don't do drugs. Now watch this wheelie.
We really don't have that much concrete coming in. I guess I'll get a shard and jam it in there. Pump that shit up, bro.
New Smokey, are you vaping? Yeah. It's a bit. At least this won't cause forest fires. Like
forest fires.
Because he's New Smokey. He's Zoomer Smokey. So.
He's like he vaguely gestures at progressiveness, but in an ineffectual way.
Oh God. Don't. Jesus Christ. Anyway, New Smokey's like only you can prevent forest fires, and then he vapes, and it's like, okay, I guess, yeah, the vaping is not going to cause
I just
a forest
thought
fire,
that Bernie went too
cigarette.
far in a few places, so I voted for Biden.
Oh God. I don't want politics in my talking bears.
The important thing is to focus
fuck, I'm
on
dying.
Slow incremental change.
Well, I was about to fall to my death and die, but then I landed in a hypertube and didn't die as a result. It just swooped me into safety. Forest fires are exacerbated by climate change, but also I don't want to pay higher taxes, so we'll just have to compromise, kids.
Compromise is exactly the word. Oh no.
Who cares about the Great Barrier Reef when we got a Great Barrier Reefer, am I right?
It's the worst.
Stupid. Put that manufacturer
pump
there.
2 shards into there, so it should finally get some shit done. I hope. Ow. Ow. My lungs.
What's happening? Are you okay? Wait a minute. I decided I don't care.
Well, Little Smoker is actually pretty fucking awful, because it's, you know, it actually does have bad air all the time. A whole corner of this building is just poison air.
Oh, yeah. Little Smoker. God.
That's just a thing we live with. Now am I going too fast for the steel? It's always something in it.
Oi, governor. Is it always something in it?
I'm not going too fast. They all have steel in them.
I have a question. Is the Pope Catholic? You cheeky tart. What?
Because it's just like a bunch of phrases put into like a wood chipper. And whatever comes out, it's like the fucking Family Guy manatees of like British. Just British.
I'm just British. Man.
Still not getting enough beams. I need more beams.
Oh, fuck. You need screws for computers? Screws are so far away.
And we need them for everything.
Screws is ass far.
We might have to add like another floor to the Screws mega complex. Because they're for everything. Because we're just fucking piping them into the heavy modular frame thing. Like at full speed. Like... these motherfuckers need 100 screws per product. It's fucked up. It's like it's just maximum speed. It's silly.
I'll put this over here. This seems to be a more reasonable spot for it than the ramp up to the entire place we're trying to build stuff. I may or may not have placed a manufacturer on top of the ramp that we took, which, like, could not have been a bigger fuck you to any wheelchair accessibility we could have ever been, like, role-playing into this base.
Role-playing?
Yeah. OSHA, more like, oh, shut up. Remember, kids, unions are lame.
Is wheelchair accessibility related to OSHA?
No.
I was like, that's like safety regulations, right?
Yes. You are correct, asshole. Oh, shit. What was that noise? Oh, fuck, I have a live wire. Hang on.
In real life?
That was unpleasant.
Did you have a real life live wire?
Yeah. So
you're not supposed to have that ever.
I'm doing this thing lately where I'm trying to plug my work laptop into my audio system. Yeah, I'm trying to plug my work laptop into my audio system so I don't have to unplug my headphones to listen to my work laptop when people call me about, like, work stuff's on fire, can you help us? And I have to be like, yeah, sure, whatever. Anyway, I had an audio cable sitting on the floor and I touched it with my foot and it sounded like I just lost an operation for a second. I was like, whoa, what the fuck was that?
Jeez.
Because my body electricity was like, let me play you the song of my people.
So did it go into you at all? The electricity?
No,
what happened?
it just. Have you touched the end of like an amp cable for a guitar? And it goes like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did that, but with my foot on the end of a cable that was for my laptop, but was unplugged because my laptop is not currently in this room. There were a lot of more moving parts to this story than I remembered.
That one just kind of kept going, yeah.
Yeah. And it was entertaining for all of none of it.
Oh.
It's okay.
Yeah, too hard on yourself, like that thing you said earlier or whatever.
Oh, yeah. You know what I was saying? Yeah, exactly. Or it's like, would you say so far as to do as to go like to yourself?
Would you?
Would you? It's like, no, I couldn't even imagine doing as so far to do.
What the fuck is where do I get mycelia?
You usually have to grow that out after you hit a certain age.
The medical inhaler's been on our to-do list for so long because it requires mycelia, and I've never seen that resource before.
Mycelia is mushroom, right? So go where the mushrooms are.
Mm-hmm.
Just go where the mushrooms are.
Run, boy.
5 oscillators.
Run to the mushrooms.
10 stators.
Ah.
Try to do some more research because we're always falling behind on that.
My hair is so long it keeps poking me in my own nose, and I'm like,
are we even making
betraying your
oscillators
host? What the fuck are you doing?
We're not.
I'm sure OSHA would probably have something to say if you like placed a factory at the end of a ramp for accessibility purposes. Because I think they'd be like, at the very minimum, that's unsafe. Because what if you wheelchair directly into like the factory? Yeah.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
I was gonna say, are they just like, got him? He fell into our trap factory, which is a Mega Man level.
Our trap factory.
Trap Factory. It's one of the best songs from the Mega Man Game Boy.
What is the best Mega Man song and why is it? Rotors are red. No.
Because that one can be arranged into a dubstep.
Can't anything? If you don't care enough.
Yes. It occurs to me that I don't know that song well enough to be able to actually remix it mentally. Because all I can think of when I try to think of that song is just it just is playing. But if I had to like actually break it down in my head, like I don't, it just goes da 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 da. It doesn't do anything other than that. It just goes da 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 da. Jesus Christ!
It's the level we're on.
Sound like I'm being like, oh, what's the deal with da 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 da?
Sometimes it goes da da da, and then it's da 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 da,
and then da da da. Jerry. Anyway,
why is he saying Jerry to himself?
Because I have no friends. I've lost my mind.
So
Jerry.
I just talk to myself.
Jeez. Jerry, did you just have sex? That means you lost, Jerry. Better start paying up, Jerry. Oh, man.
Oh my God, how do you make a crystal oscillator?
Well, you take a crystal and you just jiggy it really quickly.
Do we have a recipe lookup button somewhere? I thought we had one now. I don't even know what menu to look in. It's driving me fucking crazy. Okay. Oscillator. What is a crystal oscillator made of? No, it's made of 3 things, so it needs a manufact. Fact. I don't have the stuff for that either. So I need motors and heavy modular frames. Fuck.
Lately I've been doing this thing where I've been trying to... I've been trying to diddle it as best as I can. Which is to say, if I'm working on something, and I feel the temptation to cut corners, I'll think to myself, like, what does the ideal version of this thing look like that I'm working on? And just focus on making that happen. The problem is that it's hard, and I don't care about this base being all jankly, so I'm gonna jank it. But then I'm gonna feel guilty at the same time.
And then I'll spend 3 hours rewiring it later. But I'll do it wrong, and then it won't work.
Well, on the other hand, this corner isn't going to cut itself, so fuck it.
I don't think that's a problem to solve.
Somebody's got to cut corners around here, and by God, it's going to be May.
Do you want some not child-proof, unbeveled corners? Thousands could die, Jerry. Jerry's back, but we don't know why. Fuck. Still don't have everything I need. I need plastic.
Oh, God.
Plastique is mine.
Oh, God. I just pictured what if Jerry from Jerry Seinfeld show was on like a duo
It is
show.
I, Jerry, from Jerry Seinfeld.
With my friend Sans Undertale. No.
This is how I introduce myself to my friends and others.
Jerry from Seinfeld teaming up with Jerry from Rick and Morty to make the world's most confusing and awful experience. The last thing I think I would want to have is a Justin Roiland take on fucking Seinfeld.
Nah, you want what you want is a Worthy Kids take on Seinfeld.
So I don't know what were the kids.
That's the sound I make at you.
Okay, because it sounds like you're making Aaron's impression of Joke Yoda.
You haven't watched Worthy Kids yet?
I don't know what it is.
He's
Is
brilliant, and all of his videos are ADHD length. So it's perfect.
Oh, so 30 seconds?
You could do it. You can watch the Clown Ninjas with me. Set to Garage Rock. It's perfect. It's everything I want.
Okay, that sounds really good.
Yes.
Garage Rock Clowns in less than a minute. I'm like, oh, Worthy Kids.
I already forgot what this thing needed.
Know you.
Cables are reinforced. Reinforced iron plates are really far away. Shit.
I think my favorite Mega Man song is the one that goes da 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 da.
I'm a fraud, and no one should ever listen to.
I tell lies. You can't fact check me. If I don't care that, I tell the lies.
I can lie faster than you can fact check. All I have to do is make shit up.
Make shit up. I don't care about damage to society. I get paid.
The real world is sad, and then people come here to escape it, and then we just say it back at them again.
Yeah, the problem is that we're also sad about the real world, so this is our escape, and we're dragging. Our escape is to drag the real world around and be like, look at it. I guess I'm just gonna split these screws off. Right? I don't know. I'm gonna do that. It's currently backed up, so 7 hours from now we'll find out that that was the linchpin that really held this whole operation together.
Chat's like, wait, ADHD length videos finally exist? I'm like, that's the foundation of the internet.
Yeah.
That was all viral content and still is?
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Like, there's several more popular platforms than the one you're on right now, and they're all short form content.
I'm just gonna say, like, if that's almost implying that like they need even shorter videos, which would be like what, like a 7-second video at most.
Hey, that's the whole video.
Yeah. Subscribe. I mean, for whatever it's worth, I have a meme channel on my Discord where the rule is every video should be no longer than a minute. So I am trying to uphold ADHD standards.
You're doing God's work.
Yes.
For yourself.
Yeah. It's a repository of things I can go at later. Man, we're gonna spaghetti hard. This phase of the game is definitely being like, hey, what if we made you... You know how like stuff was discreetly in different categories, not really mixing so much? Yeah. We're gonna keep making you make things that require 4 ingredients that are from different entire categories of resources. It's getting pretty bad.
So
and it's not only that,
them together from across the map.
It also requires like a lot too.
Yep.
Like, it's not just like, oh, this requires like what you're already kind of producing. It's like, oh yeah, everything that you were making, double it and make it all meet together right here. It's really, really rough. But it's like, okay, but you only need to double like the oil part of it, not the other parts. So it's like, oh, you only need to double like the copper part. And like the iron part, you just need to multiply it by 0.3. So have fun making that more math work.
and make it all clean, or you'll have excess, and that clogs up everything.
Yes.
You don't want to have clogs.
I'm
trying really hard to hop onto my existing conveyor stacks whenever I can.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
In fact, I should go back and stack on via the thing I just went across the map diagonally with. Correctly reincorporate that into the stack too.
You know what's kind of funny and weird and kind of not surprising about this base is that some of our factories are now taller than the Midgar space factory or space elevator.
That big towering cartoonish thing at the beginning of the playthrough is almost like blending in now. It doesn't even look that out of place.
This probably makes sense to put it here. I'm gonna say yes so that I don't disagree with myself. Uh-oh. That's a hypertube. I didn't mean to go in there. Well, I can work with this. I also like that other Mega Man song that went like you
can't just do this to me.
Oh wait, hold on.
Fuck.
If I make it the bass sounds
from
the Jerry Seinfeld show, that it becomes 3 memes. Oh, the game distracted you from me being a fucking moron. Oh.
Impossible.
Oh, I just need to be dumber than the game. Shit, he stopped paying attention to me for 3 seconds. Oh, God, no.
I was having some real struggles trying to add something to a place and just falling over and over again and never quite having the angle where the fucking silhouette will show up where I want it to. And it's like, please just do it. That's all I want.
If you ever wonder to yourself, like, wow, how come software code bases can wind up becoming a huge impossible mess to figure out?
Just play any game in this genre.
Yeah, just play Satisfactory or Factorio and you'll be like, oh,
yep.
It's impossible to make anything good.
There's nothing more permanent than a temporary solution.
But you know what you call a temporary solution? A solution. Don't fuck with it.
Shippable. Don't tell anyone.
Yeah. We'll fix it in Q. No.
If I don't write a comment in that says this is supposed to be changed later, then no one will know.
Okay, this looks good, right? Like this whole thing kind of hanging off of the crisscrossy thing that looks like uncooked spaghetti. Just straight, stiff spaghetti in a mighty bundle.
Mom?
I'm gonna make the power line connect to shit. You can't stop me. I'll put it right there, and I'm gonna put this right here, and that's the electricity and so much of it. Alrighty, we are making 1 computer, well, 2.5 computers per minute. I have no idea if this is gonna scale. It probably won't. Who knows what the resource bottleneck to this shit's gonna be. But we are making computers.
The important thing is to say what could go wrong and then never check.
So if this makes 2.5 parts per minute, then in 10 minutes we'll be jet setting around, packing jets.
What are you even saying at this point?
I was gonna say something, and then I was like, "You're gonna regret saying that," and I was like, "Okay, good. I'm glad that you stepped in to tell me I was gonna do that." Subconscious, and then, okay, conscious, I guess. And then I was like, "But I'm in the process of saying it, so we'll just make this work." And in the end,
is that what happened?
I'm glad that I said that because my original thoughts were very regrettable. I did that thing where you try to restrain yourself and your commentary
so you
suffers
just go,
for it, but your sanity and dignity remains intact.
Is that a thing?
Used to be.
There is something satisfying about stacking conveyors, even if I'm not sure it's accomplishing much besides de-spaghettifying.
Stacking containers, meaning the storage container things?
Conveyors.
Oh, conveyors. I see.
I apparently failed to convey that.
Oh, sorry. I was
convey that.
God damn you. You weren't going to let me get away. You were like, He's in my spider web and he doesn't even know it yet. He may think that he checked out, but he's in the Hotel California of my joke.
By the time he's done, he's going to be screening his phone calls.
I'm going to get some water real quick and some ibuprofen.
I'm alone. Hello, everyone.
Not yet.
Time to begin my vacation from telling you anything. Goodbye, everybody.
Now you are alone.
No. I think we might need to ramp up our production of reinforced iron plates again. Look, they're little manila folders. Not manila folders. Aren't those the ones that top fold? I don't know. They look like folders. But they're they're plates. Wow, this is very low output. Uh-oh. I think our reinforced iron plates suck. Oh my god. Get here. You're still not here? Those are the first ones? They're so far away.
I'm Bird. I'm back. And
okay.
I'm
It only needs one per
scared.
minute. So the crystal oscillator is another fucking capstone thing. Shit. Oops, I just
Have you ever
unplugged
taken
my
the
headphones,
time-
Now they're back in.
Have you ever taken the time to realize that Crystal Oscillator sounds like a Metal Gear Solid enemy?
Yeah, no, most things do.
That's true. That's actually not all that. Yeah, jewel vaping. There you go.
Yeah.
There's another thing that sounds like.
Yep. Indigo Prophecy. Third boss of Metal Gear Solid.
No, it goes tank.
You.
Tank. You're welcome.
Tanks for the memories.
Okay. So now that we have computers, what do we fucking do, man? What do we do with our lives?
Well, I'm making crystal oscillators, and that's going to take an eternity.
Alright, so I'm going to head up to the space elevator, and I'm going to look at the things that we need to make. Fuck off, weird whale thing. God,
I hate you. Stop
through her
being
face.
elegant and alive.
Yeah. In that order.
Are you talking about the flea whale?
Yeah.
Giraffe?
Yeah.
I thought at first I thought you meant the reef back. That's all I know how to call it from Subnautica. Wow, these things take a long time to make. Alright, so I need 5 crystal oscillators for the research I wanted to do, and it's going to take 2.5 minutes at least for it to make them. Over there. Shit. What else can I do? That was supposed to give me us object scanner improvements. Ah. Do we have an
That
object?
sounded very unpleasant.
Yeah, I like it slightly inhaled.
Okay.
Ah.
You either should have done more inhale or less inhale. I don't know what to tell you.
I had a little ginger beer, and I like breathed in the fumes very directly without actually breathing in any of the liquid, I think, which is good.
So, are we making versatile frameworks or modular engines? Because I think we have all of this stuff, but I don't know if we actually like finished it, right?
Is Versatile Frameworks the triangle thing that looks like a bunch of bars?
Yeah, that's modular frame and steel time.
I believe we have a floor making those. Yes.
Okay, great. I'm gonna just go pick those up and start putting them into the space elevator.
But I think those entire categories we're not making yet still.
Yeah, well, we only just now are making computers, so that's the third item.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna go to the stripper pole.
Did I grab the stators?
Is that where the modular frames are made? Or the versatile frames?
Let's see. Oh, here's stators. Let's see. Oops.
No,
yep,
no,
versatile frameworks are the green floor of the second building.
Okay. Oh, there they are.
It's completely backed up because they're not being used for anything.
Cute. Wow, we're gonna need a shit ton more of these.
It is so much easier to hand feed them in a lot of the time, but
yeah.
If the number's high enough, you could build a belt to it and it'll feed them in directly, which is what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, I may do that.
Like, it's very clearly what we're supposed to do, but it's almost never practical.
Mm-hmm.
It should feel more mandatory just because it's clearly what the design is. But on the other hand, annoying. Oh, I was going to recycle.
Yes.
That's what I was going to do. I have inventory trash to declutter. I like having a weird trash thing to throw my stuff in. Ah, my encoder is overloaded again.
Oof.
That just happens periodically in this game, and I just ignore it. I'm just like, oh well.
Yeah, it's usually only a couple of frames that
part's
dropped.
just gonna be skippy for a while.
Yeah,
because this game,
like the peanut butter,
because it's got so much stuff jammed into it.
Yeah, like the peanut butter.
It chugs like peanut butter.
No, because it has jam in it. Oh my fucking god, it's not that complicated. Okay, it's not like your Byzantine story about how you got your hair cut by Keith's mom, who was also a member of Daft Punk or whatever from the town of Vacaville.
I don't think my mom has ever cut my hair.
Okay, well,
I don't think that's in her skill set.
Well, she cut the hair of Papa Roach.
No.
Okay. I don't care about this story anymore. It's too confusing for me.
Yeah, you're the one introducing it again. Inescapably. Oh yeah, we need to scale up copper plates. Shit.
So I got a pretty great story. Sort of. I got a story that I think is pretty great.
I mean, you're hyping it up now, so better fucking pay off.
About a week ago, I had a meeting with like my boss's boss and like a couple other people there. And before the meeting, I took a shower and had combed my hair back, so it was all like nice and slicked back, and I had like my headphones on, and it looked pretty good. So I got onto the call, and it was a video call, and my boss's boss just says, "Hey, nice haircut," and I was like, "Uh-oh. Oh no." I didn't say anything, but then I realized that every future interaction I was going to have with this person, I was now going to have to make sure that my hair was completely out of sight, because as soon as my hair dries, it became very, very apparent that no, I had not had a haircut.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been kind of like a little puzzle I've been trying to solve. I've been trying to plan my like showers around when I might potentially have meetings with this guy to be like, that way I can kind of like put it back. I used a hairband to hold my hair back from a meeting earlier today when I knew I wasn't going to be able to get it nice and contained before this meeting. So I was like, okay, we're gonna have to put it up in like a little rubber band thing. So that's my little secret, and no one knows that I didn't actually get a haircut. And
the
so far
is to just to give up.
Yeah. So far, he hasn't said a word.
Oh my god.
He hasn't said anything.
He
I
did.
think I pulled it off. So all I need to do now is just avoid for the next like 10 months. And then I can stop maintaining the charade, and he will, and I'll just it'll look like my hair. Yeah, see what I'm saying? I need to get a haircut and then pretend that I didn't get a haircut for the next 10 months so that I can then undo my hair.
I lost
and
the
it will
thread.
look
Is having a haircut good or bad? In this context, there's many contexts where people are like, "What? You got a haircut in this world? How dare you?"
I didn't get a haircut in this world.
Yeah.
He was just like, "Yeah, it looks good," and I was like, "Uh oh." He paid me a compliment, and I normally shut down and think like, "Oh God, I didn't deserve that compliment." And here I was getting complimented on my deceit. I lied for that compliment, and I didn't even intend to. It just happened.
You got the devil's compliment.
Yeah.
Oh my god, these are. Oh my god.
What?
The bottom. There's 3 research things at the bottom of the quartz tree and the MAM, and combined they require 250 quartz oscillators, crystal oscillators. Currently, those are made 2 per minute. So that's gonna take a bit.
Yeah. The game's gonna encourage us to sit around and talk about
one of
bullshit.
those. It's like one of those things where they hook up a bunch of gears end to end to end, and each one is inefficient and slower until the last one's like, yep. Once you get to the 12th one, that'll take longer than the heat death of the universe to spin once. And you're like, wow, math.
That is legitimately kind of cool. I have seen exactly what you're talking about. Like, it was this weird art thing, right, where somebody just made a series of gears, and they were like, mathematically, this one gear will never rotate. Ever. And it was like this thing that was basically just like 12 gears back to back, and you think to yourself, that seems like bullshit. It's only 12 gears. And then it's like, nope, that gear will never turn. And then it's also like that one gear exerts like an insane amount of torque, and like even if you tried to turn it on your own, it would be nearly impossible.
Dangerous
like,
scouting mission. BRB, I'm gonna go
sure
die on the way to a resource
annoying.
we still don't have coming into our base. This always
Yeah,
goes
but
well.
I mean, who needs Cilia?
This time I'm just gonna not bother building anything on the way there. I'm just gonna run all the way there, and if I make it, I'll plant a beacon.
What a brave explorer you are.
And then I'll be like, okay, I know I can make it. Well, last time I kept trying to make poles on the way there to be efficient and shit, and then there was a fucking mountain in the way, and I basically ended up pivoting to the other resource that I didn't want to go to the first time. And it just getting worse and worse.
Random question. Never really thought about this before. Were there any like explorers of the New World that didn't completely fuck up their like journey to get over here? Like anytime you think like, oh, they were out exploring like the world and they like sailed on a vessel, and they left with 6 vessels and they came back with 3, and they came back with 5% of the people that they left with.
Yeah,
like,
despite
I don't know if...
supposed results of, doing the exploring and whatnot, we're clearly very bad at it.
Yeah.
It pretty much is just a fatal process for basically everyone, except for the person whose name you remember sometimes. They also often die.
Yeah.
Hello.
And I mean, it was all done in like, this will be for the glory of the crown to build our eternal empire that lasted less than 50 years.
Yeah.
But what a humdinger of 50 years we had going there, right, fellas?
We're also really good at exploring places where people already are. Like, wow, what a discovery.
I think we've only exclusively explored places where people already live.
Yeah.
Like, how many unexplored areas are there left in the entire world, right? There's bits of Antarctica and probably the top of a mountain in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
So there's good news.
There's probably somebody that fucking lives there, too.
The resource I thought might be dangerous to get to is just one ridge past Bird's Glory coal.
Oh, good. So there's already a bunch of infrastructure there that you can bootstrap your workspace off of.
There we go.
This has got to go all the shit over to the space elevator. It's so far away.
I christened the Life is Sulfuring.
Huh?
I called it Life is Sulfuring.
Yeah, fine. You told a joke once, and I was like,
I recognized that was a joke. Now I gotta go back for all of the resources I need.
I don't know how to get this over to the space elevator.
Wow, I remember when the Bird's Glory coal felt kind of far away.
Yeah, now it takes like no time at all to get to it by comparison to other
specifically when you stand at the end of Bird's Glory coal and just look towards our base, the sky bridge is right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fucking refinery area has bridged like half the gap to Bird's Glory coal at this point.
Yeah, no, that used to feel like a journey to get over there. Like, it felt so far away, I thought I could hear Austin Wintory's soundtrack guiding me to it.
Mm-hmm. So far away.
Oh, I'm gonna die. That's not livable. That's dead. I just said the same word, same thought, 3, and none of it, all of it was true, but none of it was the correct English. What am I even doing with my life?
Playing Satisfactory. Trying in vain to elicit the emotion that is named after.
Oh yeah.
Truly a
I'm not trying that
task.
hard. This is a Sisyphean task. And if this is a task very reminiscent, if it's a Sisyphus-esque task, then the real game is actually Megara.
The real Sisyphus begins here.
Fellow gamers.
My life has been overloaded with like Asterius imagery lately, basically. Like the
cow?
Yeah. Not specifically.
I thought it'd be overloaded with horses.
Not specifically the Hades character, but just like the thing, like that Minotaur, because it's like between Barbarous the comic and House of Leaves, and then being in the middle of a Hades playthrough, I'm like, all right, this is a lot of Theseus and Persephone and the Minotaur going on, and I don't know how this has became my daily thing, but it's like at some point 50% of the media I'm consuming is about the same labyrinth and the Minotaur over and over again. I don't know how I got
That's
here.
actually super weird and hilarious.
Because like the Minotaur is a huge element of Hades, of House of Leaves. Obviously, he's literally in Hades. But yeah, like the main characters of Barbarous are essentially the Minotaur and Persephone, and it's kind of hidden a little bit, except for the fact that her name's literally Persephone.
That's not hidden at all.
Yeah. But
what
it's like
a reveal!
It's
Her
like
name was Persephone
modern-ish day, but with like magic users or something, and they're like tenants. They're people that are caretakers of a apartment building. That's what I mean by it's obscured a bit. So I was like, okay, she goes by Percy or whatever, and there's a big, hulking, weird monster man creature. But like they're doing an apartment stuff, so it's like, okay. But then like she sees her at some point she sees him through like a lens that alters the perception and reality, and she just literally sees him as a minotaur. I'm like, oh, okay, I see what we're doing here. I think I've cracked the code. And then lo and behold, you go to the fucking page of the artist, and she's having a great time playing Hades right now.
A lot of the voice actors and voice actresses for Hades stream themselves playing Hades. It's really fun. I quite like watching those streams. Boy, are they bad at video games, though.
That's not very nice, Bird.
It is not very nice. Anyway, it's just no, it's really fun. I do enjoy watching them. Like, hey, I voiced Dusa, and then it's like watching Dusa play Hades and getting her ass kicked in by Theseus.
It's interesting watching voice actors try really hard to leverage the roles they've played to turn into like some sort of like YouTube audience and see if they can monetize that as they go. Which like worked for Sungwon Cho.
Yeah,
I don't know about anyone else.
Well, no, Sungwon Cho.
Or I guess he was more famous already. He was
a Viner,
and then was getting YouTube. Then he was getting voice acting gigs as a result. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then you also have like the voice actress for Aerith, who also had like she was already like a YouTuber, but like a pretty minor one, I think. Then like streamed herself playing Final Fantasy VII, and I don't think she ever actually beat the game. It's like, oh man, that didn't last long. Oh well.
Because I know two of them are. You have you have the guy that played the droid, the android in Detroit Become Human.
Yeah.
So he'd be like streaming himself playing the game. And like, look at me, it's me, the guy in the game. And he like has the same haircut still and everything. And so it's like, oh, it's him playing with face cam while looking like the guy who's on the screen exactly because it was just his face in the game.
Yeah.
And then cool. Was it the fucking? I encountered the YouTube channel for the guy that voiced Legoshi in the English version of Beastars. And
yeah, but he's not really
trying single video he uploads just re-announces that he's the guy that played Legoshi in Beastars, no matter how unrelated it is. It's just like I think he had like dozens.
I'm completely wrong with what I was saying. Literally at the same time you were saying it, I had no idea that he was like that.
Yeah, like he goes. From what I saw, every single video on his channel that had been uploaded recently, every single one was all titled that he's, wow, the voice actor from Legoshi does this, and the voice actor from Legoshi does that. To some point, I almost start to wonder, like, how legal it is.
It's a pretty gray area, and a lot of...
You're profiting off of someone else's thing in a weird way. But it is you too, but it's also not a thing you own? It's a weird situation.
It is really weird, but it's also not that weird. It's straight up like, you can't have like Mr. Iron Man going around pretending he's Iron Man all the time because he's not.
It reminded me of when like people show up in character to say like political opinions. Like, this character endorses this thought, and I'm like, I don't think like the company was cool with that though, were they?
No, they were not.
I was like, what's one? Something comes to mind of like, I think it was an anime thing. I think there was like an anime voice actor that it might have been. I don't know. Maybe it was the Sonic voice actor or a Dragon Ball voice actor or something. But they were like so and so says trans rights, and I'm like, ooh, you got to be really careful which things you go for with that, because like, yeah, because it's like you got to have the exact like publicly popular opinions, or very quickly you'd be losing your job as that voice actor because you're getting heat on the company because you're utilizing them for that.
Yeah, but then at the same time, it's like, okay, are you going to be the company that's known for firing the voice actor because he said trans rights? It's
exactly.
Like, you're really putting him in a bind.
That's the exact that's the exact situation where I was like, they probably don't necessarily want you saying that, but they don't want to be the guy who fired you for saying exactly that. So this time you got away with it, but also every other time might get you fired, especially because of this time. I don't know. I'd be terrified of like losing my job.
Yeah, it just seems straight up unprofessional. Like your character is not you.
Concrete.
You know, you're just the voice. You don't really own any more of it than that. And I don't. Apparently, that's a hot take. Apparently, that might be a little bit controversial, but that's kind of how it has always been. And I don't know, like, why. I don't know. I guess another thing is that because it's getting a lot easier for, basically anybody, I guess, to self-publish like whatever creative works they want, then it becomes very tempting to kind of start towing that line, but ultimately it just seems incredibly risky to me.
Yeah,
to like
it can definitely be fun. Like if it's pulled off right, it's like, oh man, look at what a good press moment, because it's like like there's a fan animation of Cayman from Dorohedoro doing like hey Mikado, look what I can do. And she like goes to the window and he does like she's trying to do the stupid thing where you hold one of your feet and try to jump your other foot through it, like over it, and he falls flat on his face. That's
stupid. That's the coolest fucking thing anybody can ever
pull
off.
He's trying to do that. He's trying to do that and completely falls flat on his face. And it's just a funny little silent animation. And then like that was found and then voice acted by the real voice actor.
That's
and like
pretty
reshared.
cool. Yeah.
Like in those kind of moments, it's like really cool. But I always wonder where the line is, where they get in deep trouble, and suddenly somebody else is voicing that character next season. Someone's gonna get Kojima'd. Konami Kojima'd.
Welcome to Solid Snake Gaming.
We've decided to end our professional relationship with
the unaffiliated Solid Snake Gaming Network. To think that guy was a Wolverine.
Was a Wolverine? Did David Hayter play Wolverine in something?
No, he like wrote one of the X-Men movies, I think.
David Hayter?
Didn't he? No, wait, hold on. Who am I thinking of? It's not David Hayter. Let me look this up. Okay.
David Hayter always struck me as one of those guys that doesn't have that much going on besides their main thing. Which is definitely a bummer because he's no longer playing that character.
Yeah.
Like,
David Hayter co-wrote the films X-Men, X2, and Watchmen.
What the fuck? That's weird.
Yeah. That is weird, isn't it?
How do you co-write the movie that's just a panel-for-panel remake of the comic?
Oh, probably kind of easy then, isn't it?
I was just remembering, like, oh right, Watchmen, the movie where it's almost exclusively identical to the comic except for the parts that are worse. The people are usually happy to blame all that on Snyder. Which, I mean, fair. I've seen his other stuff, so... I've had fun with, like, 2 of his movies ever, I think.
Oof.
It's Sucker Punch and Dawn of the Dead. It's even Sucker Punch, while being a delirious anime music video baffling project that's just kind of incredible for a lot of reasons, it is still weirdly mean-spirited and misogynistic and worrying for a lot of reasons. But so is Snyder, so... No, you're not allowed to say stuff about Snyder, though, right now. He's popular today. I guess he's been weirdly more popular than I thought he was for a long time, because people were really obsessed over the idea of the Snyder Cut for a long time.
I don't know what the fuck that is aside from a meme.
I have to do a double take whenever I think back to that stuff, because I'm like, oh god, that's how long ago the movies came out that they want new versions of? That's like 5 years ago. Didn't realize that they were that long ago. I never watched any of them because I saw the first one, and I'm like, this is horrible. I'm never watching any of these again.
What is the Snyder cut of?
It's Justice League. Because first he made Man of Steel, which was horrible. Then he made Batman vs Superman, which was worse. And then he made Justice League, but he didn't quite finish it. And then his daughter died midway through production, so he left the project, and Joss Whedon took over. And that's generally credited as making the movie significantly worse. So people like complained on Twitter for like 5 years straight about how they wanted the Snyder cut. And then a bunch of people were like, and then a lot of thought pieces were published about this and that and so on. Like, there's a really good Dan Olsen video about how like there is not a Snyder cut. Like, the Snyder cut doesn't exist. Like, they're just, you'd have to just put
doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
you'd have to put millions and millions and millions of dollars into finishing this unfinished movie to quote unquote release the Snyder cut. AKA just do actual filmmaking again, basically.
Yeah.
But then
it makes it sound like the Snyder cut is like the movie was done. They just need to finish editing it.
It implies that true. It implies that they literally finished an entire movie, and it was ready to be edited, and then Joss Whedon came out of nowhere and just like changed a bunch of stuff. And it's like, no, he's brought in to finish the movie because it wasn't finished.
He was the asylum to the Suicide Squad.
But now the perfect storm happened, which is that theaters are shut down, and WB/HBO has a streaming platform they're trying to get people to look at, and so like, you know what, we can put like $80 million into this Snyder Cut thing, and then like see if that leads to anything. Like, and we'll just put it on our streaming platform, HBO Max, and. So we did weirdly get a Snyder Cut. It's a fucking like 4-hour movie.
All I remember from
and now
hearing
you
about
cannot
that is
make me watch the only context I'll ever watch a fucking 4-hour sequel to the shitty movies that he made previously is if it's literally because it's like a commentary situation and we're all just gonna like just talk shit about it for 4 hours, because I can't just sit there alone and watch it with my eyes. His movies are. His DC movies are miserable.
Yeah, they're awful. They're so bad in my opinion. I do remember hearing about the release of the Snyder Cut, making people even angrier, because they were like, "Well, you gave us this thing, but we want even more." Like, I've heard of that being a consequence of releasing it, and people were like, "This is why they weren't planning on ever releasing this thing. It's because they knew that it would just make nerds angrier, because
it is a dangerous game.
If you acknowledge any nerd ever, it makes them angry."
I got like mixed feelings, because like, it's like, on one hand, you have these irritating, petulant babies that throw tantrums on social media and essentially do borderline harassment campaigns in order to get what they want because they're mad about some nerdy property not going the way they want. And that has repeatedly gone in incredibly toxic directions over and over again all the time. And it's like rewarding that is not a great outcome for all of this. But at the same time, there's also the thing where it's like, it is in some way a net positive that a less compromised, superior version of a thing came out. Like, there was a piece of art that was bad, and then a new one came out that's less bad. Like, that's the more or less universal opinion on it, seems to be that it is definitely better than the movie that we had, and that's good. I probably still won't like it, but better is good. And the fact that that somebody was working on a project and then their daughter died, and then they never got to finish their big project that they probably worked on for like a year or two. Them getting to go back and finish that is a victory. So I've got like a bunch of mixed feelings there, because it's like I just encouraging the insufferable fucking rage babies that are the quarterings audience, basically, to just keep going is like, oh, fuck. They got a victory, which means that they'll just do it harder now. So it's like it's such a mixed bag of good, bad things.
That's why companies need public social media policies and stuff like that.
Like,
for
context, I was literally
Amazon.
I was literally more miserable watching fucking Man of Steel than I was watching Suicide Squad, the movie that was so bad it spawned us doing spoiler casts shitting on movies that we had to vent about.
That was the first one, yeah, with Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Man of Steel's worse. Partly because it's nihilistic and it's made by Snyder, and Snyder is a fucking objectivist, so his ideas of how people should work are horrible, and objectivism is literally the opposite of superheroes. Like it's just a really bad idea. Like I
don't know anything about Zack Snyder. Everything you said was like way.
Well, he loves Ayn Rand movies, and he did I think he either wanted to or literally did do a movie adaptation of The Fountainhead. Like that much he likes Ayn Rand, and so it's just fuck.
Nobody who likes Ayn Rand likes The Fountainhead. Anyone who says they like The Fountainhead is just they're virtue signaling. No, have you read The Fountainhead? It's just a God.
Like it's how you ruin superheroes.
I tried for a day.
Like superheroes fit nicely into that ideology because it's a fucking like Ubermensch character, but that ideology is toxic to superheroes. I think it's the antithesis of what they should be.
Oh no, I'm falling. Oh,
it's like one of the most insufferable scenes is fucking Superman watching his dad die to a tornado that he could just save him from, and he's like, "No, you mustn't. Because you should never reveal yourself or help anyone with your powers. I'm willing to die for this for some reason." That's like after a scene where they're like, if there's a whole bus of people dying, yeah, you probably should just let them die instead of reveal your identity of being Superman. It's like, wow, this is what a great Superman movie. This is everything he stands for. It's like it's fucking horrible, and that's the basis of the whole universe. So all the sequels and spin-offs and everything else that he makes that's a Snyder DC movie is just all attached to how gross that is as a concept, and there's no escape.
I can never fucking find anything on our base. Sorry, I just have to get that out of my system real quick.
What are you trying to find?
I don't know. A gray cylinder thing.
What does that mean?
There's 30 things that are just gray cylinders. It's the one that's the most advanced gray cylinder.
A rotor, a stator.
I don't care. They all end in or.
There's two of those. There's a stator and there's a stator, a rotor, and a motor. Shit. Is the one that looks like it has a bunch of plates on the outside?
I think it's the motor. I think. I don't know. This is hard. I just want to play video games. I don't want to do.
I just want to play video games.
I don't want to play calculus.
Play video games.
Play video games.
Oh, I needed 100.
Yeah. I really, really want to talk about Amazon social media news. I really do, but I also am terrified of doing that on a YouTube video.
Because you can get in trouble.
Oh, they're going to know. And that's on Twitch, too. So, like, Daddy Bezos is like, his hand is hovering over the kill button.
Just auto-notifies the moment anyone mentions Amazon.
But all this talk of social media, it's like...
Are you thinking about the fact that one of the Amazon channels just started like shouting at someone basically?
The Twitter beef between Amazon News and Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. It's like, cool, I've never felt more embarrassed to work for this company than I do right now. And that's all that's 700% more than what I should have said. But
yeah.
Oh God.
I just gotta make one of these.
It's kind of. I'm gonna just make Santa come. Shit.
Whoa.
It's a big red
just
button.
Okay, sneaking a cheeky thumb back there, huh?
As well as odds of survival.
I didn't say it was gonna be good.
Whole new
whole
new meaning to Santa Claus is coming to town.
Shut up. Well, we're done with tier 6 at least, so that's good.
Because the red light district is full of ho-ho-hos.
Shut up. Oh.
Some presents take 9 months to open. This is horrible. I don't really regret anything, though. I never do.
It's good. It's good.
You just gotta commit to your dumb bullshit.
It's not. You watch the Snyder cut. It's better film, but it's also glitter on a turd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so full.
I mean, what
of
could you
himself.
ever do?
He wanted to make it. He wanted to make it 4x3 in black and white.
Are you kidding me?
And it is 4x3, but they made it just really desaturated instead of black and white. But like that's. It's such a fucking ego trip for him that he was like, I need it in like full artistic vision. I'm gonna obnoxiously make a fucking 4x3 black and white sequel to a franchise that isn't that, which I made the movies of, so it's not even other people's movies. So it's like it's not even coherent vision within his own movies.
No, it's because The Godfather is in black and white.
He's
so
just a fucking lunatic.
yeah. So
but hey,
it's like they gotta make it like The
Sucker
Godfather.
Punch had some fun, like garage rock covers and anime girls doing a fighting, which was really a strange episode of him. That was a moment that happened.
I mean, everything you said sounds pretty awesome to me.
No, I like Sucker Punch a fair bit.
Okay.
I imagine from time to time like what would have happened if Sucker Punch did well. That we could have had like kind of fun Snyder movies, and maybe the DC movies he made would have been better if the one kind of cheeky fun movie he made did better. But it's still full of like, oh wait, the ideological implication of every scene is still He
Where
has
are we making smart plating?
smart plating?
Yeah. Okay, don't do the Seinfeld theme at me real quick.
That might be on like the roof of the first building. I feel like that might be one of the last things we made before I stopped adding floors, essentially.
Okay.
Because I feel like we only ever needed it. I don't know, really. I can't remember when I've ever needed smart plating.
Well, we need it right now.
Yeah. So I don't really know what it's like used for.
Zack Snyder likes comic art, not comic books or writing. Yes, that's a pretty great way of describing it, I think.
I like the part where he took the scene with the comedian, this old man full of war crimes in his past and a complicated history. And he just gets tragically thrown out a window one day. And he's like, what if there was a fight scene? It's like, no, Snyder. What if there was a fight scene? What if like Night Owl, where the whole point is that he's old and washed up and fat now? What if he and the lady they took on a whole bunch of people in this alley and like punched them so hard their like arms exploded?
I don't remember. It's so hard for me to remember what was in Watchmen, the comic book, versus what was in the movie, because I read and saw both of those at the same time. And I haven't read or seen either since then. So I'm like, wait, was them fighting in an alley in the comic book or no? I'm sorry.
But not like
graphic
that.
Novel. My
like
mistake.
They like really, really heavily hype it up in the movie where it's like they're completely destroying them and there's like gore. Like I'm gonna hold your arm here and punch it here and your bones are gonna come out. It's like, oh Jesus, what is this fucking? These are supposed to be washed up dudes and they're like pulling out like Mortal Kombat finishers. It's like, what the fuck is this supposed to convey?
Yeah, I remember that there was a scene of them fighting in the alley, and this was when they were like let's get our groove back and break Rorschach out of prison, and they like beat people up in an alley, and then they go into the flying hoot or whatever it's called.
And then
it's the Almatron, the flying.
And then they fuck to the Hallelujah
yes.
song.
Yeah, and then she accidentally presses the flamethrower button.
And then the owl plane jizzes everywhere. I know. We all saw the movie.
I don't remember what it's called. The Flying Hoot Hoot. The Night Owl 2.
The Night Owl 2?
No, right. No, he was the Night Owl 2.
Yeah, because the previous Night Owl was an old man that retired. Like with Batman, with Tracy. Remember Tracy? Was his name Tracy?
Yeah, and he was...
imagine that.
No. And he was...
That was the universe
wasn't based off
of
of
furries,
Batman.
but for real.
He was based off of, what was it? The Beetle Bailey, right?
What?
No, he wasn't based off of Batman. It was based off of the Beetle Bailey.
What is Beetle Bailey? Is this a D's Nuts bait?
No. He's based off of the Blue Beetle. If I remember right. Like, that's the thing about Watchmen, is that it's based off of a bunch of obscure characters that seem like they would be the characters that are popular, but they're actually not.
Actually, I thought specifically that Rorschach was supposed to be based on Batman.
No. Maybe. I don't know, actually.
Which...
No, Rorschach was based off of...
That's the character that creepy people root for, and like, yeah, he's the hero, right? And it's like,
yeah, I remember Alan Moore in an interview say, well, I mean, I don't remember. I read out an interview.
I remember when I
Alan Moore
personally
saying...
interviewed Alan Moore at my job of interviewing Alan Moore.
I spend 40 hours a week interviewing Alan Moore. Yeah,
the elusive, except for me, Alan Moore.
Not that elusive, is he?
So I was hanging out with my best friend, Alan Moore, who I'm on the first... Yeah. I call him Al. First name basis.
I call
Don't at
him
me.
Al. Anyway.
Call me Al.
Yeah,
I thought of you.
He said...
Because it was playing in a Save Mart when I was there.
He was saying something about, how... Anybody that comes up to him and says something like, yeah, Rorschach's so cool, you know, he's such a cool character.
Get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, he's just like,
I found the serial killer.
Go away. Yeah. His inspiration for Rorschach was basically like, what would a superhero actually be like? They'd be a pretty deranged, like, insanely dangerous person. And then he was correct. Rorschach's such a good character. They're all good characters.
Yeah.
Writing in Watchmen is so fun.
I need to reread it because I want to watch the show.
Yeah. Oh, the HBO show?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's good or not.
I'm behind on
Probably
everything.
isn't.
I'm currently going through The Expanse, which is like essentially the show equivalent of like that meme where you're just like, wow, I sure like this character. Hope nothing bad happens to him. I'm in season 2. No spoilers.
They released a black and white version too. Please tell me it's a black and white. You're talking about the comic and not the movie. I don't want a Zack Snyder black and white version of Watchmen.
I think there is a black and white version of Watchmen.
The movie.
No, it's that they just released They just released a black and white version of Justice League, which is called Justice is Gray, which that's exactly the fucking level we're dealing with these people. It's like, oh my fucking god. It's a lot to take in sometimes.
This is the world we live in.
This is the world that we live in.
Encroaching others' clearances, but the others' clearances are the only clearances I got, yo. Mm-hmm. It's either this or nothing. What the netcode? Come on, there we go. This will work out fine.
Come on, netcode. Come on. Come on.
Who's the hacky thing that barely works? It's you. You're the netcode.
Yeah, this does put this does put any good DC movies that come out in a really weird territory because they're completely surrounded by and canonically tied to some of the worst movies. So you like try to figure out what to feel about it because it's tied to a continuity, but you don't want to think about the continuity. And
you would probably know. Is Is Suicide Squad? Like, what's going on there? I'm confused.
Oh yeah, the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, is that Suicide Squad?
I still don't know.
Okay.
I feel like I might have.
I kind of want to know.
I might have found the answer at some point and then forgotten, but I still, yeah, I don't currently remember whether Suicide Squad is a sequel or if it's a reboot or like what. It features like some of the people from the previous Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it's got Wolf of Wall Street.
It's in the same weird territory as of how they made two Hulk movies only a few years apart, and one of them's canon. Which I didn't think either of them were canon. I thought they started over for the third time with Mark Ruffalo, but Ed Norton and Mark Ruffalo are supposed to be the same person. But the first Hulk movie that happened a few years,
I've seen them both in the same room at the same time.
But like the other Hulk that came out before Ed Norton's isn't canon, but Mark Ruffalo and Ed are supposed to be the same. They're supposed to be the same Hulk, apparently. So it's like one of those weird territories. Like, I don't know, like, is that the same Harley Quinn who also was in the previous movie? Or are we going to pretend the previous one never happened? It has the same Harley Quinn and the same Mr. Boomerang Man.
The amazing Aussie.
But I think Captain Boomerang, is that his name?
I don't know.
Mr. Boomerman.
No, not Mr. Boomer.
Mr. Boomerman. It's the same Harley Quinn, the same Captain Man that's just like, this is Katana. That guy's still in the movie. And the Boomerang guy's still in the movie. But I think Diablos is not in the movie. And I think that Will Smith's guy's not in the movie. So it's mixed, but this time there's like 50 characters, and it's directed by the guy that made Guardians of the Galaxy and Slither and Super, so it's probably gonna be good. But it's like, but even then, it's in the same weird territory as the Harley Quinn movie, where I'm like, isn't this universe dead? Like, I thought the Harley Quinn was the final dying gasp of a franchise that had basically been canceled, but that movie was already in production, so it just kept going. And they're like, just put it out. But now there's another movie happening in the universe. I'm like, is this universe dead or not? I can't fucking tell. I think they're just gonna cancel the Snyderverse stuff, but then awkwardly limp ahead with like DC branded movies that loosely tie together, and just kind of see how much they can get out of it, I guess, or something.
It's a non-continuous sequel.
What the fuck does that mean?
What does that mean?
Is that like the equivalent of one-way glass? The fuck does that mean?
It's a movie peering in on itself. Like it sounds mysterious now when you put it that way.
Well, I guess non-continuous sequel means it doesn't follow the story of the previous one, but the characters are still the same people, and they were in the previous one. Are they going to be like, what is this? Some kind of Suicide Squad 2?
What is this? Some kind of Suicide Squad 2?
These poor people already did a Suicide Squad that was supposed to reduce their sentences, and now they got to do it again? They put the bombs in their heads again now? Like, the fuck is the deal there? Meanwhile, we want to talk about the fucking irritating toxicity stuff here. There's a thing where it's like, people are like, now release the Ayer cut of Suicide Squad.
Shut up. That
because
can't be real.
David Ayer made, I think it was David Ayer made a Suicide Squad, but then the trailer house and them, like, everyone, like, there was a lot of studio meddling there, and DC panicked about, like, the tone of the movie and wanted to make it more silly, so they tried to make it a shitty version of they didn't try to make it a shitty version of Guardians of the Galaxy, but that's what happened.
Succeeded.
And also, I think I've heard that the villain literally changed when the movie was almost done. Like, Enchantress wasn't the villain. The villain was either the villain of Batman vs. Superman or the villain of Justice League. Was supposed to be the villain of Suicide Squad until it suddenly wasn't. So they changed the villain midway through and also recut it to make it like all poppy and wacky and fun, supposedly. So it has the same Joss Whedon problem, basically.
The version that I saw was the one that was in 3D, in IMAX. And I remember it was obviously not filmed in 3D. This is when they were like, everything's got to be 3D, right? So they took like a regular shot film and then they did some computery algorithms to make it 3D. And all I remember is that there's this one part in Suicide Squad where Will Smith, who in any movie he has characters with names, I call him Will Smith no matter what. He's always Will Smith.
Correct.
So Will Smith in Suicide Squad, he shoots a target or whatever, and the shot is like you're behind the target, and then you just see the bullet go through, and it goes like, phew, and then or whatever, and then it like the camera defocuses from like the bullet hole to see like Will Smith through the bullet hole. And the problem is that in 3D, everything was so blurry the whole time anyway. We're looking at a blurry bullet hole, at a blurry Will Smith, to it kind of like morphs like very watery looking for a second, and then everything is still as blurry. And I'm like, oh, I think I know what they were trying to do. But it didn't work because
I didn't even know that movie was in
correct.
3D.
Yeah, well, it was in 3D and IMAX, and it was during my internship
And neither
at Amazon.
of them worked.
Yeah, it's during my internship at Amazon, and I remember that the recruitment team and all those people were pretty hyped about it. They were like, oh man, we're going to get everybody in to see Suicide Squad, and then they didn't know. Nobody knew. Nobody knew, but it was too late when we found out, right? Like the recruitment team, they had booked this whole thing for weeks or in advance or whatever, and it was like, uh-oh, we gotta see it because it's free, but oh boy. And then we spoiler casted about it like a week or two later.
That was a rare occurrence of me wanting to leave a theater.
Yep.
Like 10 minutes in, when it was like just an endless montage of pointless musical things, and then it started reintroducing the characters again after they'd already introduced them, and it's like, who did this? Who
and
heard
then
this movie?
Like a week later, not a week later, like a month or two later, I remember I also saw the Warcraft movie.
Oh no!
I think that was the same summer.
Don't do that.
Oh no, it was the summer of bad movies.
We're gonna get another tool belt slot and 5 more inventory slots.
Cool.
That'd be nice.
It's after 9, so I'm gonna call it. I'm not feeling well.
Aww.
This is a great distraction from me feeling very bleh.
Which is why you're gonna stop that distraction and just feel bleh to focus on it and channel that.
Sleep instead. It's gonna be great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that thing that we do sometimes.
Right, people sleep sometimes. We had a lot of buildings this episode. Shit.
Yeah,
things are only more confusing.
One. Yeah, I did not make very forward-thinking solutions, but I made solutions.
I think I need to start color coding each neighborhood as a whole, just so we can kind of tell where we are based on color, because it's just like fucking clouds of buildings.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Oh, good night, everybody.
Good night.
I'm going to try to beat Zelda now.
Which one? Oh, you're playing Skyward Sword.
No, Link to the Past.
You're playing Link to the Past?
Yeah, Skyward Sword completed almost 2 months ago, I think. And then they voted for Link to the Past now. After voting for something else last month. I don't remember off the top of my head. Oh yeah, Half-Life Alyx.
Super good. I'm sure you're having
I did
fun.
I did Half-Life Alyx, then Link to the Past. It's not fun. It's just deeply frustrating.
It has not aged super well. It's got a lot of very annoying mechanics.
It's also it's 1,000,000,000% harder than modern 3D Zeldas are, or any 3D Zelda ever was.
Hell, yeah.
Everything does like 2 to 3 hearts of damage, and you're like, what's happening?
Hard. Yeah, and then the magic system is so frustrating because you never have enough.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of mandatory spots. There's a bunch of mandatory pieces of relatively obscure information that are said one time or never, and there's no way to find it again after the one time it's said. And so you're like, oh, is that really important? I already forgot what he said. Shit.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's from the era before they realized they needed to have every NPC repeat everything.
There's also
Quest
3
related.
deeply irritating enemies, and they're just in every dungeon apparently. Like the bouncy, invincible skull fireball thing that's a DVD screensaver and you can't hit it, but it just chases you around rooms bouncing forever. Or the fucking spinny tower laser eyeball that's borderline hit scan with how fast its projectile comes at you. It's so exact, and you can't hurt it. It's so deeply. I'm getting in the later dungeons. There's just rooms that have like 3 hazards that fire directly at you and diagonally, and you're like, I can't diagonal anything. This isn't fair. And they continuously fire at you, and you can never fight back at them. I'm like, this is miserable.
That's one thing I'm really glad has gotten out of favor from those old games is regularly meeting invulnerable enemies.
Yeah.
They're so frustrating. I can barely tolerate boos in Mario, and they don't even hurt you when you're looking at them. So, but like actually like regularly fighting invulnerable enemies like you have to do in Zelda is it's the worst. The thing that I hated even more were enemies that came back to life when you didn't look at them on the screen. I'm really glad they got rid of that one.
I've also got a problem ongoing where there's a correct way to fight an enemy or to do a puzzle or whatever, and it works like the 3rd time I try it. And I'm like, I definitely tried that already. I did exactly that, and it didn't work.
Quite works. That's right.
Like there's so many finicky things that don't quite work correctly, and you have to like basically bullheadedly be dedicated to them working that way. And then like, see, I did the insanity meme where I did the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, and then it did. So that's been an experience. I'm getting a lot of comments today about a thing that I fucked up, and I'm like, oh, wait till every episode left. It's gonna be another thing to comment on. I already know. Because I know while I'm playing that I'm fucking up. I just can't figure out why. But I know I'm fucking up.
That's when you get into pre-fights with your audience and say, like, chat's going to leave a million comments saying I'm fucking up.
Yeah, I know.
Fight me.
I pre-fight in Zelda videos all the time. It's like, yeah, I get it. I don't know something. I missed something or whatever. But I can't find it. There's no way to know what I'm fucking up.
Everyone forgets that they use walkthroughs.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Everyone forgets that when they were a kid and they were playing Zelda, they went on GameFAQs.com and they looked up how to do the water temple and all that bullshit.
I just remember getting lost in every game I played as a kid for hours and hours and hours.
So then you pull up the walkthrough and then you remember
Jet Force Gemini. Yeah. I didn't have a walkthrough and I just didn't make that much progress in it as a kid.
Yeah.
But I feel like I played it for like months.
Yeah, well, but then, people remember and they're like, oh yeah, it was really easy. And it was like, yeah, because you used to walk through to do it.
Or you like talk to other kids at lunch or whatever.
Yeah.
And then people just forget.
Yeah. Alrighty. I'm gonna
see you tomorrow unless you're dead.
Yeah.
Try to live.
I think I'll be fine. I can't tell if I'm sick or I have allergies. Oh, I already had this entire conversation. Bye.
Alright. He's gone. Any estimation on how many Monsters Expeditions gonna... The finale is on Monday. There it is. 24. I finished uploading the entirety of Monsters Expedition like 2 weeks ago, I think. It's just been slowly catching up because I had a lot of backlog on that and not much of anything else. And now I've been backlogging other things. And then Hades episodes will air. The first 3 of which were recorded before Monsters Expedition. So it won't be until episode 22 that we find out whether or not I got way worse at the game in the meantime. Because the first 3 episodes will actually be things that were recorded first. Because I recorded them, then realized midway through, it's like, yeah, we're actually overdue for when I go play something else for a bit. And I kind of do want to play other stuff. So I went ahead and just interrupted and did that instead of waiting like another week and a half to start the next game. I like Hades, but it's been fucking a stranglehold on one of my favorite parts, which is covering indie and puzzle games, which I have such a backlog of like I had a Twitter thread about this where there's such a fucking promising endless torrent of games that are so cool coming out all the time, and I have been fucking Hades is like a 3-month game. Like it's greedy. It's schedule greedy, and I don't like that about it. And so I was happy to play Monsters Expedition, but it's a lot of other stuff I would like to be playing right now. Golden Sun comes back on Monday, right? No, Friday. Friday and Monday and Thursday, and then that's the finale. And then we'll be back to Monster Hunter World Monster Hunter Rise being every day. But there are 3 episodes of Golden Sun that need to be aired, and that was also a case where I recorded it before we switched to Monster Hunter. But I wanted to have launch day Monster Hunter videos, and so I gave myself a week of that. The first credit roll is definitely the end of the Let's Play series. Probably. I mean, I've been playing it for so long. I don't know. It's a Supergiant game, and it's fun, and I want to see... ideally, I'd want to see the ending of every possible story that it has, but at the same time, the game has so much filler, because you have to do a whole roguelike run for every unlock and so on, and it's like that at some point it starts to get into the Darkest Dungeon problem, where the game is just so fucking bloated to be played forever, and that just makes it such a greedy infinite game when you're Let's Playing it, and that's just kind of exhausting, because it's like, what about every other game ever? Why does this game have to be like 200 episodes long? Because it has narrative content, but I'd be curious to see how much more narrative content it actually has than Pyre. Because I'm not sure if it even does have more than Pyre. It's just that Pyre's interruptions of gameplay were like 5 minutes of rugby, and that game's interruptions of gameplay are like an hour and a half of playing a roguelike, which you then unlock the next tier of being able to unlock more narrative. It's like it's a drip feed that might be too much of a drip. Why did Bird make a message and then delete it? Bird, why? But yeah, the game's designed to be played for like ever. That's why it has, like, I saw that infinite series of heat level unlocks, and it's like, oh, I get it. Eventually you just turn like all of these on, don't you? And it's like, that's not within the reasonable scope of this playthrough. Episode 1000? That's like some fucking Northern Lion shit. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna go try to beat Zelda now.